Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So today on Facebook Live, I want to talk to you about embracing living with less. And frankly, it's never been so easy. So let's face it, our society is driven by consumerism, that constant bombardment of messages that tell us more is better. But the endless pursuit of material possessions leads us to physical clutter, a lot of it. And the stress and the anxiety that is caused from that excess stuff can take a toll on our well-being, leaving us feel drained and also unfulfilled. So if you've been asking yourself, when will this endless cycle of wanting and needing more ever end? And how can you break free and embrace a simpler, more minimalist life with less? Sometimes it happens when you least expect it. It certainly did for me. And when a particular moment or event occurs that literally turns your head around to something much more meaningful, to something much more important than stuff. In my TED Talk, which many of you have heard, Why Less is More, I share my personal story of a trip to a third world country in Senegal, where for the first time ever I experienced people who had nothing, but they were happy. All I know is when I returned home, I wanted that. And, I came from a world of a lot of stuff as a designer, but seeing how happy they were with so little, I just was very curious about that. And that's really what led to my downsizing and decluttering journey, because I was inspired to live with less so I could live more. So sometimes it happens very quickly like that, or sometimes it happens over a long period of time when you just get tired of chasing that never-ending cycle of more stuff, more prestige, more everything. And then sometimes it happens when you find yourself longing for a different kind of more meaning, more fulfillment, more peace, and more contentment, not more stuff and not more gadgets. So regardless of when that light bulb goes off, regardless of when you start to feel that shift, the very thought of living a simpler life with less becomes exciting and far more appealing than adding more to your already cluttered home or to your already busy schedule or your overbooked calendar. So in fact, once you experience that transformative moment, that turning point in your life, the desire to declutter your stuff and minimize the distractions and simplify your life grows even stronger. So you're tired of your possessions owning you, consuming your time, your energy, your freedom. You're fed up with the ever-present desire for more that has taken over your life. And you're ready for that simpler life with less stuff, less stress, with more meaning, contentment, and peace. So the reality is that once you've turned that corner, once you've committed to living a simpler life with less, you're already halfway there, and it just gets easier after that. So it all starts with decluttering, though. So the practice of intentionally letting go of both physical and mental clutter provides you with that new sense of freedom, so you can start focusing on what truly matters to you. And choosing to let go of the excess physical possessions helps you make room for that simpler life that brings happiness and fulfillment, and is based on what you value and what you care most about. And choosing to let go of the mental clutter helps you remove the roadblocks that have been preventing you from living authentically and true to yourself, and true to your own values, not someone else's. So when you release yourself from these excess burdens, you actually create space for healthy relationships, new experiences, personal growth, and it just goes on from there. You naturally feel lighter, happier, and more liberated. So the benefits of simplifying your life are certainly many, but here are just a few to keep in mind as you start decluttering. Number one, less stress. That's pretty obvious. With fewer visual distractions, the mess, they kind of mess with your mind. They cause stress and anxiety and overwhelm. So when you declutter, you have less stress. It also saves you time. So you'll no longer have to spend time looking for things because you'll know you'll have less stuff and everything will have a home. It also helps save money. So with less stuff, perhaps a smaller home, there's no need for a storage unit, and moving certainly gets a lot easier if you do choose to move. And number 4, you have more space. So more space to live, to work, to play. And that uncluttered space is also more efficient, allowing you to focus more on and be more productive. And number 5, it's more peaceful and serene. So your home is a true respite, a sanctuary for you to rest, relax, and simply enjoy and re-energize. And the last thing is, when you declutter, you have more time, money, freedom, and energy to pursue what matters most to you, so that you can start designing that life that you really do want. So there are 3 basic strategies to get started on that journey to minimalism or to simplifying your life. And number 1 is to start small. You've heard me say this before, but it's 1 drawer, 1 shelf, 1 closet at a time. Don't take it all on. Number 1 is too overwhelming. Number 2, there's something cathartic about doing a little bit at a time. So as you sort through your belongings, let's say room by room, carefully look at each item and ask yourself, does it truly add value to your life? And if not, let it go. And the next question is, do you need it? And is it essential? And if not, let it go. And the third question, does it serve a purpose? And will you use it? And if not, let it go. So the second basic strategy to getting started on that journey to a simpler life is to visualize each room, each area, and how it should function. So certainly, as a designer for actually 40 years now, this is critical, that the room functions, not only looks good. So when you visualize how each room and each area should function, ask yourself, what's the purpose of this room? And what's essential in how it functions? So if it's your office, obviously you might want a desk, maybe a chair, but ask yourself what's essential to it. And we're talking about bare bones for the moment. And does that item that you have in there, does it belong or does it belong somewhere else? And so once you've narrowed down that room to just what's essential, it needs to, and what it needs to accomplish to do its function. Also, what it will look like, of course, to make it pleasing to you, and then also organize it so that each room, each item has a home in that area, so you can easily locate it when you need it. And then the third basic tenet of living with less is to cultivate a mindset of gratitude. There's such an irony in owning less. The less you own, the more you value what you have. I certainly experienced this when I moved from 5,000 square feet to 867. I gave away 95% of my stuff to people who wanted it or needed it. And the upshot of all of that is that what I kept, I really valued and cared about. So as you complete each area that now only has the things that you need, that you love, and that you'll use, and as each area not only has a purpose, but it also functions well for how you'll be using it. And as each space is now simpler, more functional, and more organized, you're going to start to experience the game-changing peace and contentment and freedom that comes when you simplify your life. So I hope this helps. This will become a blog. It'll be on my website. Also, the video will run for 30 days. But anyway, I would love to hear back from you. If you're creating a simpler life, what's your journey like? Thanks.